morning, beautiful listeners and viewers of Emirates Radio. It's another episode of the newspaper review on Emirates Radio. Emirates Radio is located behind the Federal Ministry of Environment of Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Today is the 12th day in the month of September, and September is just flying. I am Alimah Abdulsalam, and I'm here with...
I am Najeebat Oyerinde.
Thanks for joining us, and as usual on the newspaper review, we take you through the top stories making routes on today's dailies. I'm here with the Punch newspaper, the Daily Post newspaper, the Nation's newspaper, and the Vanguard newspaper.
I'm here with the leadership, the Punch, the Daily Post newspaper, and the Guardian newspaper as well.
Taking the headlines from the Punch newspaper, I choose myself, says first trans woman to officiate UEFA match.
On the Daily newspaper this morning, resident doctors begin nationwide strike as government fails to meet demands.
Moving to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, APC chieftain Ode advocates political inclusivity, justify Tinubu's endorsement.
Moving to the Punch newspaper this morning, UK economic stagnates in July.
From the Daily Post newspaper, Dangote refinery reduced fuel price nationwide, provides update on petrol distribution.
On the Daily newspaper this morning, ASU Fuhoye declares indefinite strike over unpaid salaries.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, why Goodluck Jonathan will not run under PDP, says Daily Momodu.
Moving to the leadership newspaper this morning, oil workers threaten strike resumption.
From the Nation's newspaper, diphtheria kills 10 kids in Niger.
On the Punch newspaper this morning, Jonathan Obi holds closed-door meeting.
Moving to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Air Peace crew tests positive for alcohol cannabis, says NSIB.
On the Guardian newspaper this morning, Zamfara, over 800 civil servants await payments after second verification exercise.
Those are the headlines that we came in with. We'll go on a short break, and when we're back, we'll take these stories in detail. Welcome back from that very short break. Taking it from the Punch newspaper this morning. I choose myself, says the first trans woman to officiate UEFA match. Israel refers Spenberry Bems as she recalled the moment her dream came true earlier this year when she became the first transgender woman to officiate an international football match. I always wanted to be a woman and I always wanted to be a football referee. And then those two came together and fused into one dream that just exploded with joy, the 31-year-old told AFP. Since I was 5, I remember wanting to be a woman, wanting to be a girl. And when I started playing football, I realized that the dream of being a woman and playing football didn't go together, she said. Brim grew up in a football-loving family, playing as defender for around 10 years from around the age of 5. When she realized that professional ambition were not working out, she joined the Referees Association and worked her way up to pressed over men's match in Israel Premier League. Wahala. Be like transgender. Congratulations to her on her dreams finally coming through.
Still on the leadership newspaper this morning, resident doctors begin nationwide strike as government fails to meet demands. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has commenced a nationwide strike on Friday following the federal government's failures to meet its minimum demands within the 24-hour ultimatum issued by the association on Wednesday. NAD President Dr. Oshundari Tope Zenith confirmed that the industrial action was activated after the expiration of the deadline, which followed an extraordinary National Executive Council meeting held virtually on Wednesday, September 10, 2025. The HENEC, which had in attendance representatives from federal, state, and private tertiary health institutions across the country, reviewed the 3-week ultimatum earlier given in July and its subsequent 10-day extension. The doctors expressed disappointment that Despite repeated engagements with relevant stakeholders, critical issues affecting their welfare remained unresolved. Among the grievances listed by NAD were the non-payment of the 2025 Medical Residency Training Fund to several resident doctors, the failure to settle 5-month arrears from the 25% 30% comments review, unpaid 24 accoutrement allowance, and other outstanding salaries arrears. The doctor also commends the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria for downgrading the membership certificates of the West African Colleges of Physicians and Surgeons, as well as the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria for its delay in issuing certificates to qualified candidates.
I don't know why our governments are behaving like this, why they are not giving these people, they are not meeting up to their demand and they are not doing what they are supposed to do. It's always so sad to see that doctors have to suffer and struggle for
Throughout this week, it's
always been doctors not being paid.
Doctors.
I swear, throughout this week. Moving to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, APC chieftain or they advocate political inclusivity justify Tinubu's endorsement. Ahead of the 2027 general elections, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Enugu State, Barrister Mrs. Adana Ode, has advocated for political inclusivity. Ode speak while describing the APC stakeholders' women conference and the formal inauguration of the party's women wing in Enugu State as a watershed moment that would redefine the place of women in politics and governance. She stated that it provided a rare opportunity to honor the past, strengthen the present, and bold chart the future of women in politics. Ode, who was the chairperson of the planning committee, underscored the importance of recognizing the contribution of women who once led the party at different levels. She explained that the inauguration of the APC Enugu State Women Wing marked a new dawn, strengthening organizational structures, amplifying women's voices, and positioning them as equal partners in driving political inclusivity and leadership. One of the highlights of the summit was the unanimous endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as APC's sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. Moving to motion, Barrister Ode said President Tinubu embodies the spirit of renewed hope. Barrister Ode expressed deep appreciation to key stakeholders whose presence and support made the event a success. She especially recognized Chief Uche Nanji, Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, and leader of the APC in Enugu State, describing him as a pillar of encouragement and commitment, whose sacrifice for the party and for women remain an inspiration.
Moving to the Punch newspaper this morning, UK economy stagnant in July. Britain's economy stagnated in July. Official data showed Friday dealing another blow to the Labour government at the end of a turbulent week for Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Gross domestic product flattened in the month following output of 0.4% in June, the Office for National Statistics said in a statement. The government has suffered two high-profile departures in the past week. Firstly, Starmer's deputy Angela Rayner, who resigned for underpaying a property tax. The PM on Thursday sacked Peter Mandelson, his ambassador in Washington, following fresh revelations about the diplomat's friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Whilst the July GDP figure was in line with market expectations, the government acknowledged difficulty in driving economic growth ahead of its annual budget announcement in late November. We know there is more to do boost growth because whilst our economic isn't broken, it does feel stuck, a Treasury spokesperson said in a statement. The latest data showed that a 1.3% drop in production offset expansion to the services and construction sectors. The stagnation in the real GDP in July shows that the economy is still struggling to gain decent momentum in the face of the drag from previous hikes in taxes and possible further tax rises to come in budget, noted Paul Dells, chief UK economist at Capital Economics Research Groups. Britain's economy stagnated in July. Official data showed Friday, dealing another blow to the Labour government at the end of a turbulent week for the Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Dangote Refinery reduces fuel price nationwide, provides update on petrol distribution. Dangote Refinery has reduced its premium motor spirit retail price nationwide. This is as it announced Monday, September 15, 2025, as a new update to begin the direct petrol distribution initiative. The initiative, which Dangote Group had earlier announced would kick off on August 15, 2025, would see the $20 billion plant dispute petrol and diesel to consumers by its 4,000 compressed natural gas to struck as petrol zero lowest costs. The 650,000 barrel per day refinery said its new grant price is 820 naira per litre, the same price announced last month. The company, which is currently in a face-off with the Nigerian Union of Petrol and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, disclosed this in a fresh price template released by Dangote Group on its X account. With the new price template in Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo, and Ekiti, Dangote Refinery's petrol retail price stands at 841 naira from 860 naira per litre. In Abuja, Edo, Delta, River, and Kwara State, the largest African refinery retail price is 851 naira, down from 855 naira per litre. This means that Dangote Refinery will deliver its petrol directly to willing customers in Lagos and the southwest states at a reduced retail price of 19 naira, while in Abuja North, Central, and South, it will be at 34 naira reduction. It is stressed that the new price template and direct fuel distribution scheme are expected to take effect on Monday, September 15, 2025. Meanwhile, it was reported that the Dangote Refinery price template is not binding on petroleum marketers and retailers except MRS and its other distribution partners. NULENG on Thursday announced that it may return to strike against Dangote Group, alleging that the company re-engaged on its recent resolution. However, Dangote Group said it respects the voluntary membership of unions by its workers. Congratulations to all Nigerians. As per, we should expect a reduction in fuel price. That's like a win. Even though the reduction is not like the reduction that everybody wants, but regardless, from 855 naira to 851 naira, I mean, for those of us that are in Kwara, for people in other places, it's still fair. From 860 naira to 841 naira.
And there was a news that there will be
tax on every fuel. Yes. I saw that too.
The reduction is not making sense. Actually. Reduction and then still paying tax on it. It's not making sense actually, but they just want to make a news out of it actually.
And I pray this thing leaves the paper, that it doesn't remain on the paper. You know, one thing about Nigerians is that once something is in the paper, we actually believe that it's in the paper.
It's going to work out.
They are going to be giving us false hope.
Yes.
So I pray to God that this is not actually a false hope.
I pray so. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning. The Daily Post newspaper this morning. ASUU for Oye declares indefinite strike over unpaid salaries. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU Federal University Oyerinde for Oye, has embarked on an indefinite strike over unpaid salaries. The development was formally communicated on Thursday in a letter addressed to the institution's acting VC, Professor Olubomi Shitu. The letter, jointly signed by the branch chairman, Dr. Fabuagun, and the financial secretary, Mr. Ungu Benito, stated that the industrial action would remain in force until the affected lecturers received their outstanding salaries. According to the branch leadership, the move aligns with the directive of the national body of ASUU. The statement read, the National Executive Council of ASU was resolved that where academic staff salaries are not paid by the third day of a new month, the branch concerned must suspend academic activities until payment is made. In compliance with this directive, ASU Fuoye has proceeded on strike. The action is total, comprehensive, and indefinite and will only be suspended upon payment of salaries. This strike of a thing has been looming since last week. And I even saw a news that even University of Ilorin too is going on strike, because till I heard they were supposed to resume this September. So they've not even released their academic calendar, and that's unusual of them. And I think the strike too is moving closer to them as well.
I pray that they have everything resolved. That's what we're saying, that our president, people that are meant to be prioritized are not actually prioritized in this country. To think that doctors and lecturers, teachers
and
in other countries, they are always treated like gods.
They are very, very very well recognized. Not in this country. They are always treating them like trash.
You get,
especially doctors. Doctors are meant to save lives and all, but they treat them as if they are just not normal. They are normal human being, but we have to carry them like eggs.
God. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, why Goodluck Jonathan will not run on the PDP, says Dele Mohamedou. A member of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dele Mohamedou, has dismissed speculations that the former President Goodluck Jonathan may contest the 2027 presidential election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Mohamedou spoke this morning while fielding questions on national television, noted that the enriched interest within the PDP remained opposed to Jonathan's return bid. He also explained that the political meetings, such as Jonathan's recent interaction with former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi, should not be interpreted as a sign of alliance, noting that politicians often meet for different reasons. Mohamedou added that speculations is common in politics, citing public reaction to a recent meeting between Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso and President Bola Tinubu. He said, those who are saying, former President Jonathan will run on the platform of PDP, I doubt, because those who are determined to kill PDP, they are still very much entrenched. Those who are saying, okay, he and former Governor Peter Obi are meeting, it's normal for politicians to meet. They meet all the time. So all this noise about this will go there, let people go. In a democracy, if you cannot agree on consensus, then let there be primary. Let them go to poll, and whoever wins, so be it. I feel like you have something related to
about
this.
Obi meeting.
If I think you should take it so we can discuss about it in details, because I want to know what that news is talking about with the meeting, then joining it with this one, so we can know what exactly the meeting is about before we now come and put mouth in this one.
2027, Jonathan Obi holds closed-door meeting on Punch newspaper this morning. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Peter Obi, on Thursday, held a closed-door meeting with former President Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja. Obi would disclose the visit in a post on his official X handle on Thursday, described Jonathan as an elder brother, a statesman and leader, adding that they had a fruitful meeting and discussed the state of the nation. Today in Abuja, I met with my very dear elder brother, statesman and leader, former President Goodluck Jonathan. We had a fruitful closed-door meeting and discussed the state of our dear nation, Obi wrote. Although details of the meetings were not made public, the development comes amid ongoing conversations about Nigeria's political direction and the state of governance under President Bola Tinubu's administration. Jonathan, who led Nigeria between 2010 and 2015, has in recent years positioned himself as a mediator in national and continental issues, particularly in conflict resolutions and democratic strengthening efforts across Africa. Obi, on his part, has continued to engage stakeholders following the strong showing in the 2023 elections, where he came third behind Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. The meeting is the latest in Obi's series of consultations with key political figures as discussions around Nigeria's future political realignment intensify. Attempts to obtain clarification from Obi's former campaign spokesperson, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, and leaders of the Obedient movement were unsuccessful as calls and messages went unanswered. Thursday's meeting is the latest in Obi's strings of high-level engagement, signaling what observers believe could be the early stirring of a new political coalition. Speculations became rife of Jonathan's possible return after the People's Democratic Party zoned in 2027 presidential ticket to the south. There have also been reports that the PDP had been wooing Obi to return to the party, as he is seen as major force capable of challenging President Bola Tinubu in 2027.
You see, one thing that I'm going to say is that it is us, I mean we civilians, that would carry it on our head that because me I'm APC, or let's say because me I'm AWY and you are ABC, I should not play with you. It's not like that for those people.
Exactly.
According to what this man is saying, he's saying it's that politicians meet every time. They do meeting all the time. So let's not, because they are showing us publicly that okay, Peter Obi is saying that Tinubu wore ceremonial agbada to where crime chemical has happened, doesn't mean that they do not have where they are meeting.
Do you know that all these politicians, we can't even side one, we can't side the other. They are unpredictable.
Very, very.
Now, this person is saying that politicians meet every time. You can't say, oh, this is what they are discussing, this is what they are discussing. Yeah, I think they are just trying to play politics at its names. They are politicians.
Yes.
Because even if they are saying, okay, they are just meeting because they are politicians, we don't know what Peter and Jonathan spoke about.
Yes.
We can never predict them. So
yes.
That's just it. Whatsoever they discuss remains with themselves.
It can be tomorrow like this. The way Peter Obi used to come online and just tweet things about Tinubu and all.
Yes.
He can hold a meeting with Tinubu tomorrow. And
exactly.
Nobody's going to do anything.
Exactly.
The worst is just for Nigerians to open mouth
and say again, Shebi, you went to meet Jonathan last week. Kiniko. So that's just it. They are unpredictable. Like, politicians are unpredictable. We can't side one, we can't side the other. We just have to be in the middle.
I swear. Moving to the Nation's newspaper this morning, this news is very sad. I swear. Diphtheria kills 10 kids in Niger. At least 10 kids have died following a diphtheria outbreak in Niger State, prompting the government to launch an emergency mass vaccination and public awareness campaign. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of the Tertiary Health, Dr. Muhammad Ghana, confirmed the death in Bida local government area, blaming the high toll on parents' refusal to vaccinate their children. It was gathered that some communities in Lapai and Age have reported some deaths since the outbreak began. It was learned that the affected children were rushed to the Federal Medical Center in Bida, but a shortage of drugs hindered treatment, leading to the facility. In a separate statement, the Director of Public Health, State Ministry of Secondary and Tertiary Health, Dr. Ibrahim Idris, said it's working with the Nigerian Center of Disease Control, NCDC, World Health Organization, WHO, UNICEF, Sindai Group, and the National Primary Health Care Development Agency to curb the outbreak. Idris announced that rapid response teams have deployed for active case detection, treatment, and follow-up, while mass vaccination has commenced in Bida and surrounding community, focusing on children most at risk. The ministry said diphtheria is a vaccine-preventable bacterial disease that causes fever, sore throat, cough, and in several cases, life-threatening airway blockage, stressing that even the loss of a child to vaccine-preventable disease is lost to many. To counter misinformation, Idris said radio message in English, Hausa, and Nupe are airing on Radio Nigeria Power FM, Bida, while religious leaders, traditional rulers, and town announcers are also engaging communities to prompt vaccine acceptance. The government urged parents and guardians to take their children to primary health care centers where immunization is free, safe, and available, adding that it will stop the further spread of the disease. God, I beg. This diphtheria thing, I don't really know much about it, but the picture that is used to describe this thing, I don't want to go back to it because it's very
irritating.
I swear. But regardless, I feel like every parent in Bida community should just please answer the government and vaccinate your children. Allow your children to collect vaccines. It's not hard. The government are still trying to protect everybody.
Yes.
So they should just abide and just listen to whatever the government has to do, because 10 kids dying is not something that is not small
at all.
Lots more can die if they refuse to get vaccinated. May God help us, shall we?
On the leadership newspaper this morning, oil workers threaten strike resumption. Barely 48 hours after the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers suspended the strike, its leadership yesterday raised the alarm that Dangote's refineries management had reneged on the resolution reached. Comrades Williams Akwera and Afolabi Olawale, President and General Secretary of the Union, made the declaration in statements they issued in Abuja. At a closed-door meeting convened by the Department of State Services and attended by the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and representatives of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), the management of Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals agreed to the unionization of its employees. The NUPENG, which dropped the hint that it might resume the suspended strike, alleged in the statement that the breach of the agreement, a representative of Dangote Refinery at a trust brokered by the federal government, Alhaji Sayu Aliu Danta, instructed all its truck drivers who are NUPENG PTD members for several years to remove the union stickers from their Dangote trucks yesterday. The statement was titled Alert to the Nation, Dangote Empire Negates Resolution Reached.
Wahala. I think that was the same thing that was being mentioned in the news of where Dangote reduced fuel prices and said that they were like the Nupeng or Nuleng people, they are not wanting to work in line with Dangote anymore. Everybody does what is best for them.
Everything just rose from that finance system issues.
Everybody does whatever is best for them. May the good Lord help us. Dangote that reduced fuel price, Nuleng that say that they are on strike. Coco is shark, me. Think about other citizens when you are doing something.
Yes.
If people go on strike now, it's other Nigerian citizens that will suffer it if there is no fuel. I feel like all these people on top, whether you like it or not, the fuel that they will use for the end of this
already
month,
available.
They've collected
even
it.
In the next coming months, they have them available.
Everything is available, so there's no point in suffering ourselves. We are our brother's keeper. I think, let me use it that way. We are our brother's keeper. So there's no need to stress ourselves about anything. Everybody should do whatever that is best for them. Our time is fast spent. We don't have time by our side anymore. I think that brings us to the end of the newspaper review on Emirates Radio. For more in-depth on the stories, you can always check the Daily Post newspaper, the Punch newspaper, the Nation's newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper,
and the Guardian newspaper as well,
and our very own Royal Online newspaper. Thank you for always choosing us. Thank you for always joining. Thank you for listening. I am Alimah Abdulsalam.
And I am Najeebat Oyerinde. Thanks
for
listening.
To have a wonderful day.